Garlic's one of those vegetables that we use to add to soups, but never as the main ingredient. This soup's a little bit different. You need 20 cloves of garlic for this soup. Now, you may go, whoa, that's a lot, it's going to be intense, but it's not. Because after you cook it long and slow with some stock powder and some water, it transforms and becomes super sweet. It's actually a really lovely soup. And to give it an extra kick, I'm going to add some pancetta, just to give it a slightly smoky flavour. So into a pot, I'll add some pancetta, some extra virgin olive oil, and our 20 cloves of garlic that I've peeled lovingly. It is a labour of love peeling garlic, but it's totally worth it for this soup. You don't need to chop it, we can just add them whole. To bulk out the soup, I'm going to add 1 leek that I've finely chopped. That can also go in. Last little bit, grab a wooden spoon and give that a stir. Coat everything in that oil. While that's sweating, let's get on to some croutons to serve this with. So some stale sourdough bread. So 3 slices, and we're just going to dice it. So we'll cut it into battens first, and then we'll just, I'd say about 2 to 3 centimetre pieces. You can fry this the classical French way in some butter, but I'm going to do it with some extra virgin olive oil today. I think that'll be enough for the portion I need. So into a pan, we'll pop that on a high heat and a generous glug of the extra virgin olive oil. You want it to coat the base of that pan entirely. Okay. They're like little sponges, and that's why we need our oil to be hot so it doesn't absorb all of that oil. So good sizzle there. Coat one side in the oil, and then just with a spoon, just completely coat everything. Okay. While they start to get crispy, let's go back to our soup here. It's smelling so good, and there's no colour. We'll add potato. Now this is going to be our thickener, so I'm not adding any flour to it. The potato is going to thicken up our soup. So 1 Desiree potato that I've cubed. And then we can add a bouquet garni, which is going to give it lovely flavour, some thyme, bay leaves and some parsley. And the stock powder. I'll need 3 teaspoons of stock powder for 1.5 litres of water. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm not going to add any salt to this, any pepper. The stock powder is going to give this soup loads of flavour. So that's all we need to add for our flavours. Coat everything in that. And then in with our warm water. Done. That's as simple as it is. Lid goes on, it's going to come to the boil, turn it down, and it's going to cook for at least 20 minutes. Now back to our croutons. They're starting to get crunchy, but I want some good colour on them. After they're cooked, we're just going to place them on some paper towel to drain, and always add a little salt. Then when the soup is cooked, I'm going to blend it until it's very smooth. Oh, this soup smells wonderful. And this is a little trick my grandmother used to do with some of her soups, just to give it a bit of a je ne sais quoi. It's a combination of vinegar and egg yolk. The egg yolk is going to enrich the soup, and the vinegar just gives it a little zing that you're after. So in with the egg yolk to the vinegar, and just with a fork, we're going to break this up, give it a stir, and then as I blend, I'm going to just drizzle in the egg yolk and vinegar mixture. Done. And that soup is so hot that it's going to cook that egg. But because it's blending quite fast, it won't scramble it at all. It'll just make it silky smooth. This is such a unique, wonderful soup. Look at that gorgeous colour. See how smooth that is? I'm going to add a few generous ladlefuls into a bowl. A drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. Just let it float on the top, and a generous handful of these gorgeous crunchy croutons. Just let them bounce away on top of that soup. Garlic soup. Who would have thought? It is smooth, it's soothing, it's a wonderful soup if you haven't tried it. Forget about pumpkin soup, we know how to do that. Try this garlic one.